January 28th, 1986 was an unforgettable day. It was the day the Challenger space shuttle went up in flames while the whole world was watching.
2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
By this point in history, the space race between the U.S. and the USSR was basically over, since the U.S. had already touched down on the moon. In 1984, Ronald Reagan announced the Teacher in Space program to spark more interest in space travel. The Challenger space shuttle was going to be the first to send a civilian into space. Krista McAuliffe was that civilian. Before her now famous flight, she was a teacher in Concord, New Hampshire when NASA announced the project. Having always wanted to go to space, McAuliffe jumped at the chance and applied. When she found out she was selected from over 11,000 applicants, she was over the moon. Since the launch had already been pushed back 2 times, she was ready to go. So were the other 6 people on board and the rest of the country. Many people, including a lot of schools, were watching this event unfold live on TV, including Ashley Fiorica, an eyewitness of what had happened.
When the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded, I was in 3rd grade, and we were all excited because we were going to be watching the first teacher launch into space. So we stopped our classwork, we had the TVs on. As it took off, it looked like everything was going great, and then within about, I would say, 10 to 15 seconds into the launch, a big explosion happened. We knew something serious had happened because we hear the news commentators saying, "Oh no," a few more words I don't remember, and then the whole school shut down the TV because we didn't know the extent of what had happened. We got home, and that's where we learned later that night by the news and our parents talking about it that, it did explode. There were no survivors, and it was just a really sad, devastating situation to have our first teacher, well, anybody go into space, but especially the first teacher, and not be a successful mission.
Contrary to popular belief, the Challenger didn't explode, although the flaming fireball made everyone assume that it did. Rubber O-rings that were used on the shuttle were never tested in extreme cold like 36-degree weather it was that day. The rings hardened and didn't fully secure the joint, causing a plume of exhaust to leak out onto the cold tank filled with liquid hydrogen and oxygen. This leak tore the shuttle apart. Many of NASA's engineers warned that the shuttle wouldn't function properly, but it wasn't enough to stop Jesse W. Moore from okaying the launch, especially because Reagan was due to address the nation that evening, and it had already been delayed twice.
We will never forget them, nor the last time we saw them, this morning, as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye, and slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God. Thank you.